All right, out here at Super Training, you guys know how much I love walking, and now I'm walking in these beautiful suspenders. This is a harness that we made here at Super Training for slingshot, and I also have a sled. This right here is the Stealth Sled. It's really nice. The drag that you get from having this type of material on the bottom here is just a lot different than what you might get from a metal sled. Metal sleds work great. They've been around forever. Those are awesome. I love them myself. But sometimes when I'm dragging outside, sometimes I'll get like stuck, and the consistency of it just doesn't feel as good as this does. The other advantage of this is that you can pull this in your neighborhood at 5 a.m. and no one will be bitching at you because it doesn't make any noise. It's nice and quiet, a quiet ride. You know I love walking, and I've been talking about the 10-minute walk for a really long time, but Ian Danny came here and said, hey, you got to start kicking those 10-minute walks up a notch, and so now I'm doing so with weight. You don't need a lot of weight. A lot of you are going to look at this and be like, there's not much weight on there. That's intentional. It's because I'm a big wimp. Now it's intentionally light because I want to move with a certain speed. I'll be going between 4 and 4.5 miles an hour, which isn't very fast, but it's much faster than a regular walk, and it's weighted. I found that when I did this the other day, I did it with 2 plates and a quarter. I got about halfway around, and all I could focus on was how much pain I was in. So I'm trying to progressively overload this, and maybe over time I'll add some weight, but I'm gonna do about 2, maybe even 3 laps. I'm gonna walk for 20 minutes straight or so with this sled. And one of the things that Ian said that will come of this, Ian Danny, one of the greatest strength coaches of all time, by the way, if you don't know who he is, but Ian Danny suggested this as a metabolic workout. So this is something that if you're looking to have a body transformation, this would be absolutely outstanding because it's going to be way more challenging than a walk, but not so much more challenging that it just has you completely falling apart, like doing sprints or even sprints on a bike, or even just running in general. You know, running in general can really wear down the joints. This is easy movement, low cost movement, but you're going to still be burning a lot of calories. And then plus, it's going to build up the glutes, the ham hockers, the calves. One more thing I'll say about this, and then I want to get into working on my nasal breathing for today. One more comment here is that, you know, pull this thing whatever way you can for 20 minutes would probably be a really good start. Just do your best not to stop hardly at all. So if you have to stop and turn around for a half second to walk backwards, that's cool. But try to keep the pace going and try to keep it going the whole time. And I've been working a lot on nasal breathing. In fact, I pulled way back on my running recently just to work on breathing in and out of the nose. And I'll share this with you too when I lift. The next time I show you guys some lifting stuff. I've been really working on my breathing with lifting. And I made a video the other day showing you how to breathe and brace for like a bigger bench. And I also shot some other stuff talking about how to breathe and brace for like a deadlift. But I've been working on something completely different than that. And I kind of picked this up from Nsima. I don't think it's necessarily new. I don't know if he invented it, but I got it from him. You get to a bottom of like a squat or bottom of some of these movements, and you just let all your air out. You could do it through the nose if you wanted to, but just let all the air out and really try to relax. I have a really difficult time rounding my lower back. It doesn't want to round. It's super straight and super stiff. So I'm trying to get these muscles and these tissues to react much differently than they used to, and to behave differently than they used to. And someone might say, well, why the hell would you breathe out at the bottom of a squat? Well, keep in mind, these are tremendously light weights. We're talking 40, 50, maybe 60 pounds, or 40, 50, 60% rather, of what you would feel would be difficult, or like a 1 rep max. So keep it, probably stay in the 40% range. Don't go any higher than that when you're trying something new and different like that. But same thing with dumbbell incline bench. Instead of, I'm trying to go just things like that. I'm trying to play with it. I don't have a real protocol yet. but I'm trying to work through it. And I'm also trying to say, oh, that's weird. I'm flexing my butt really hard on this movement, or I'm trying to get in tune too, like, oh, I'm drifting to the right. Oh, look at that, my right elbow is up way higher than the left. You can't get in tune with these things when you're lifting really heavy and when you're not making yourself a little more conscious of what's going on. All right, so now I'm gonna shut up so I can work on my CO2 to oxygen ratio via the nose. I found this to be really beneficial with lifting, mainly in the warm-ups and for less intense days. And also, it's been huge for keeping a governor on my running. I can run between 10.5, 11-minute mile pace all through here now. Not for that long, but I can do it. And I'm getting better at it, so I'm gonna keep working on it, keep working through it, because it allows me to train hard, get in some good runs, but still recover from it every day. Hey, it's Andy Bell. Come get in my video. Give me a smooch. Oh, you're gonna have to catch up. She's stealing all the equipment and moving it to our house. I'll loop back around, see if I can steal a kiss. She's leaving. Guy's got nothing. She's out of here. Ah, who needs her? She's getting old anyway. Old bat. Trying to steal a kiss. I know I'm gross, but here you go. Was that gross? Yeah. Imagine kissing a guy that just eats meat all day. It's probably not so great to be her, huh? I do make a lot of money though. Like a lot of money. So that's something. But it can't make up for all the lacking that I am in other areas. Maybe it does, I don't know. I never asked her, I never will. I don't want to know the answer. This is really putting a pretty good pump into the hammies and glutes, calves. But even the low back is getting worked, because I do have to, you know, the harness is holding me a little bit, but I do have this forward posture that you normally wouldn't have walking regularly. And even without the harness straps, if I just go here for a second, I'll still be leaning forward a little bit. But this lean is nice. These are athletic positions. This leaning position, this is like if someone was getting ready for a dunk, they're gonna get down low. Someone rushing the passer in football, they're gonna get down low. Acceleration of a sprinter, boom, 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 they're gonna be low. All those things take a low shin angle to do. Be patient. With your nasal breathing, I'd rather have you do this than to start just huffing and puffing it out of your mouth. If you need to, you could periodically, every 5 to 10 breaths, go. And then get back to it. For now, you guys don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to nasal breathing and when it comes to CO2 to oxygen ratios, but you will. You'll know. Taping the mouth, even during exercise, It's gonna become a bigger and bigger thing. And just trying to keep that mouth shut for training, for running, cold plunging. It's gonna become a bigger and bigger thing. Get that Stone Cold Steve Austin BMF walk. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. Remember the broken glass? Vince McMahon would be in the ring, scared out of his mind. That's the walk you want to get going here. The best you can. You want to try to calm down your breathing, even when you're working hard. Use your nose. Use the muscles of your face. Remember in Rocky when Mickey tells the guy that he's hitting the bag the wrong way? He needs to give it a snarl. Then he has Rocky show the guy how to do a snarl. It's this. It's that. Don't be afraid to make a little face with it. It's nice to be calm. Teach your body to be calm. But when you need to breathe, you gotta open these guys up, get these muscles involved. Gapped teeth, not gap teeth. Gap teeth this way. Slightly tongue to the roof of the mouth. And you're trying to get almost like a suction. So the suction that you would get from doing that is the suction you want to hold before you make the clicking noise. So you hold that suction in. Play around with the angle of your throat and your neck. I'm Mark Bell. I'm sled dragging here at Super Training Gym. You hear that voice change? I'm dragging the sled at Super Training Gym. I'm dragging the sled at Super Training Gym. I'm dragging the sled. So our neck posture has a lot to do with how much volume we can get through our throat. So play around with positioning the chin in some different spots. Even take the bottom teeth, shove them forward a little bit. See if you can shove the teeth, bottom teeth, to be even with the upper teeth. When you're doing this drill, tongue's at the top of the mouth, teeth are gapped. And see if you can push this bottom one forward an inch, inch and a half. So you're like Billy Bob Thornton. Give me some French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm. Remember that movie, Sling Blade? Oh, you fuckers are way too young. One of the greatest movies ever. French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm. And his chin. He must knew about breathing. Actually, it does help to hum and vibrate the teeth. It will help even more so with nitric oxide. Might sound weird or be a little funny, but it assists with breathing out. You could try a drill. breathe out for as long as you can. And you can also do that with humming. You'll find, hard to do when you're training, try it just sitting, doing nothing. You'll find you'll be able to breathe out for almost twice as long. Last lap. This watch shows me my speed at the bottom. Who knows how accurate, but it's nice to have those little markers. Nice to see those things. I like the sound of that thing. Yeah, cool, man. Don't worry about a little snot. Shoot it out here and there. Germs are good for you. I never get sick, probably because I have disgusting habits and hygiene. Never wash my hands, blowing snot everywhere. Keeps you healthy. Good for the gut microbiome. Heart rate. So we're working, but it's like it's like zone 1.5. You guys will see. Smelly science always prevails. And this one I got from Ian, so can't even take credit for it, but a lot is made of zone 2 cardio. Super beneficial. It's great because it gives you just enough hard training that you can adapt to. Once you start pushing into higher heart rates, it just gets to be more difficult to recover from. So if you do an 8-minute mile run and you do it at something over zone 2 cardio pace, which is normally described approximately as 180 minus your age. Some people go as far to get like lactate checked and stuff like that, which can be more accurate. But if you train higher than that, it just can be more difficult to recover from. It's still really good training. I mean, shit, a lot of great training happens in those other zones, but they can be more difficult to recover from. Zone 2 and zone 1 is something you can go and get every day. So imagine being myself, walking for the last decade. What does walking do for me at this point? Well, I have a lot of muscle mass, so it's still useful, but it's not incrementally any hard. If anything, it's gotten incrementally easier. I weigh 225 pounds, so now for me to walking will always be of benefit, just flat out walking. But if I want to optimize it, I got to make it a little more difficult. Drag a sled, wear a weighted vest, find a hill. These are all viable options. But when I look at my step count at the end of the day today, and it says I did 18,000 steps, I'm gonna know probably about half of them, or maybe a quarter of them, were done with a plate and 45-pound plate and a 25-pound plate. Just a little extra on it. And right now, I'm committing to do this 1 time per week. 2 would probably be more optimal, but I believe I only got time to hit up 1 at this point. So that's what I'm gonna stick with.